So now that I know where Brian Ortega sits on this Tracy Cortez thing, I am having an absolutely amazing time imagining what his experience was yesterday, right? Because Brian Ortega, he wakes up, he's doing Brian Ortega things, I would imagine training, doing something to bolster how dangerous he is, and his day is interrupted because all of a sudden people are like, hey, dude, you know you're trending, right? He's like, why would I be trending? They're all, I don't know, man, maybe you should just go look on Twitter. And all of a sudden it's like, boom. And he's like, wait, what was that? What is that? They're all, well, Paulo Costa posted that, and he posted this earlier. And Brian's like, all right. And they're all, ooh, oh man, I'm so sorry. And Brian's all, what? They're all, I'm so sorry, dude. Why are you sorry? Because, dude, he posted pictures with your girl. Brian's like, she's not my girl. What are you talking about? They're all, yeah, she is, dude. She's your forever girlfriend. You can see, go ask the internet. Go ask the internet. And then you go look, and everybody seems to think that she's his forever girl, right? No, that's Brian Ortega's girl. He's like, dude, that's not my girl, man. No, it is. There are photographs of you guys like kissing. Everybody knows you guys are together. He's like, we were 100% not together. But you're still mad. He's like, no, I'm not mad. They're all, yeah, you are, dude. You're mad. You are super mad. Don't pretend you're not mad, Brian Ortega. It's Paulo Costa, dude. It's Paulo Costa. Right. It's Paulo Costa with your girl. It's Paulo Costa with not my girl. No, that's your girl. You know it. I know it. If it were me, I would be jealous as a lunatic. He's like, I'm not you. I don't care. I actually don't. There's nothing I care less about than this. You're putting on a good poker face, but I think you care. He's like, no, I don't. I really don't. And then Ortega then proceeds to go online and just review the overall kind of sentiment of the internet. And it seems that the internet all agreed with his buddy, right? They're like, ooh, ouchie, wow, that's gotta hurt, dog. Damn. He's just out with your girl like that, son? Woo. Somebody fumbled the bag, dog. Somebody fumbled the bag. So Brian Ortega responded, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about his response, and I am going to revisit some of the things I said yesterday because this has now reframed this entire thing completely. Totally. Now that I know where Brian Ortega's at. You know, I was flying blind yesterday, flying blind, not anymore. But I also want to talk about how other people interpreted Brian Ortega's response because I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, mixed reviews, people who clearly do not understand what is happening here because it's very clear to me. I have a lot of experience with this kind of thing, dude. The girls that I dated before Gabrielle were, they all fell somewhere in that, like the crazy hot matrix, like the crazy hot matrix where it's like you got like crazy on this side or hot on this side, and then crazy on this side. And then like where they are on the line determines whether or not you can date them. It's like if they're this hot, but they're this crazy, it's like, all right, she's still on the right side of that. Like all of mine were smoking hot and totally crazy, or you could replace the other side with total whore. Right? Like, so a couple that were crazy and and then some that were like total whores. Right? So I know what's up, dude. I know what's up. Now go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You're not going to hear straight talk like this on any other channel. All right? Show me, seriously, any genre, because we're going to talk about relationships today. We're talking about relationships. Show me the YouTube channel that'll talk to you straight like me with the life experience and insight that I have. That was like a half joke, but now that I said it out loud, I actually think that I mean it. Anyway, all right, so subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, tell your friends, comment, and like this video. So, anywho, so Brian Ortega's response looks like so, all right? So let's look at Brian Ortega's response because, again, everyone was saying Brian Ortega fumbled the bag. They were like, damn, dude, ooh. Look at that. As a matter of fact, let's actually start there. I just want to make sure that, because the first thing we're actually looking at is like, here's what everybody kind of goes and does when this happens. They're all, wait, that's his girl. And then so they go look at her Instagram and then they look, they're all, ooh, damn, she's looking cool. She is looking cool. Oh, man, Brian must be hurting, dog. Oh, my, he must be hurting. Look at that. Look at this girl. Now, one thing I will say, I mean, dude, she's a hot girl. You know, she's a hot girl. But I'm just curious if anyone thinks that Brian Ortega would have a hard time finding 100 girls that are as hot or hotter than her within the first 11 seconds of being single who wanted to put in their application to ride his, if he would allow them to. Because do you remember who this guy is? You know, Brian Ortega is like one of the best looking dudes on earth. And he's dangerous, okay? He's got groupies out of his ears. But nonetheless, here's what his response was, because it's hilarious. Because after all the simps were all, oh my gosh, look at, he fumbled the bag. That's what I really want to say, is all the people who really like, that's their answer. Oh my God, dude, look at what he lost. It's like, hey, dude, tell me you've never closed a hot girl without telling me you've never closed a hot girl. Like she's the only hot girl on earth. So Ortega put this out. Everyone out here talking about I fumbled, y'all must not know the rules of the game. When you drop the ball on accident, that's a fumble. But when you throw it away on purpose, that's called a complete pass. Top G shit. Yeah. Correct. And so what he's saying to everyone is what he said to his friend. He's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care what she does, dude. She could ride Paulo Costa, all of his cousins. He can go fuck his dad. She can fuck his dad. I don't care. I intentionally got rid of her, okay? That girl was on my payroll for plenty of time. I was donezo. And in case you guys needed to verify why that was, wait, where'd that go? Oh, God damn. I'll find it. But in case you guys forgot from the video yesterday, it makes you kind of want to revisit this little number right here, which was 1 month before he broke up with her, right? Now, I'm not trying to be mean at all here. I really am not. But what I can say unequivocally is that, like dating a girl who is like all up in the feelings all the time is challenging, dude. Shit's not easy, man. I'm
going to say I've been going through it since August. I went through my camp extremely depressed. I went through my camp.
Okay, so right, this is like a month before they broke up. Listen, again, I'm not talking shit about Tracy Cortez. I'm just saying, trust me, okay? If you're together with a girl that wears it like that, you think if she's willing to throw it out on YouTube, I can absolutely guarantee you that she is throwing it out on her boyfriend every day. And the boyfriend's like, all right, dude. All right. Like, I understand you're depressed. Listen, I have a few solutions for you, okay? I have a few solutions. I can take you to do something fun. I can fuck you sideways. I can tell you that you're pretty for the 150,000th time. I can tell you how amazing you are at fighting. I can tell you how capable you are as a person. I can tell you you're one of the strongest girls that I've ever met. But I've done that a lot. Okay, like I've told you all those things. I can tell you again. I can fuck you sideways. I can put your face in the pillow. I can make you forget all your problems for a good few hours, dude. I can do that for you. But if none of those are going to solve your problem, I am going to go train. Okay? I'm trying to walk out the door right now. I need to go train. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't do this again. I cannot fucking do this. Now, I am going to request that, because at some point, I am going to want to put your face in a pillow, and nothing about what you're doing right now makes me want to do that, okay? So what I'm going to request is that you suck it up, all right? Suck it up, buttercup. No crying, no telling me about how depressed you are for 24 hours. That way, I will be able to perform when I want to, you're the only girl that I bang now, so sometime I'm going to have to do that. And there's something about a crying, depressed girl that makes my, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not into taking it from depressed, crying people, That's not really my bag. So pretend you're happy and we can revisit this tomorrow. You know what else will happen? If you pretend you're happy, you'll probably feel happy. Trick your brain. Smile. Remind yourself that you haven't lost in the UFC. You have no reason to be depressed. So suck it up. Because otherwise, I'm going to kick you to the curb in his brain. Otherwise, I'm going to throw you on the street. Otherwise, you're going to have to go find another dick to ride so that you can trap that guy into the job that I currently have. Okay? Ride him backwards. Let him look at that perfect fighter ass and let him think that he just hit the lottery. And then, 2 months later, when you're crying about this shit to him, he's going to know, oh, fuck, I stepped on a goddamn grenade, and now my life is going to suck for the next however long this lasts. Is this going to last forever, or can I get rid of this somehow? I don't know. So, Brian Ortega clipped that, all right? So, to all the simps who automatically looked at this and assumed that Brian fumbled back. Now, notice what I didn't say in my video yesterday. You can watch my video yesterday and be like, you said Brian Ortega was probably upset. Yeah, I did. But that was operating under an assumption that he had been back and forth with the girl, because that would explain why she wanted to post the picture with Paulo Costa, right? What I didn't say, what I definitely did not say is that he fumbled the bag getting rid of her. There's two very different things. Like, you break up with a girl, that doesn't mean it's automatically easy for you to deal with her fucking other guys, and that makes you like instantly like not jealous necessarily, depending on the person. Most people still get jealous in the short term, especially if they're still fucking their ex. So I was operating under the assumption they still had some kind of thing going, because why else would she want to post that picture of her and Paulo Costa on Twitter? Like clearly she instigated that, right? Post it, Paulo. Post it. Post on Twitter, at least so funny. Post on Twitter. I would bet you $100 million that she drove that. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Because Paulo Costa's a troll. If it was any other dude on earth, I would bet you $100 million she's the one that drove it. But it being Paulo Costa, I'm not going to bet my entire financial future on that one detail. But I would be surprised zero if it was her. So, nonetheless, I believe Brian Ortega. I don't think that he fumbled it. I think he threw it, and I think that he doesn't give a single solitary fuck about this story at all, except that he doesn't want people thinking that he's at home crying over a girl that he clipped. Because I saw, now let's move over to the, how people interpreted this thing. Because I was looking on Instagram and all these people are all, damn, Brian should have just not even responded. And they're like, ooh, 10-8 Costa. I'm like, 10-8 Costa? Why? Brian, he just said he clipped her 5 months ago. I don't, how is that 10-8 Costa? Brian Ortega literally just made a statement that says, I don't give a fuck about that girl, dude. That's what he said. In case you guys couldn't read between the lines, here's what it says, right? Here's exactly what it says. There's more words than needed. Everyone talking about I fumbled. Y'all must not know the rules of the game. When you drop the ball on accident, it's a fumble. When you throw it away on purpose, that's called a complete pass. Top G shit. So he endorsed Andrew Tate. He also was playing off of people saying he fumbled. But if you wanted to break that entire statement down to one sentence, it is, I don't give a fuck about that girl. So there's no indication that ain't true, So anyway, so to the people who were like, oh my God, Costa owned him. It's like, again, I don't need to know. I don't need to know what your like history with girls is. As soon as you say a thing like that, it's like, what are you talking? So like, because the only way you could see it that way is if you've never clipped a hot girl before. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, girls can be really hot, and then once you fucked them 10 times, suddenly, it's like their personality starts to really matter, dude. Like it really starts to matter a lot. And, the thing, like when you're looking at a hot ass on a girl that you've never, put a hand on before, you're like, fuck me, dude. God damn. Yeah. If you don't like the girl, like if you're not into her, see, Gabrielle still looks like that to me every single time I look at her, but I really like her, like if you don't like them as a person, trust me, that ass is not looking good to you anymore. You're like, oh, fuck me. God damn it. But nonetheless, you would know that if you had clipped a hot girl before. And thus, there's no way that you would take this and say that, Paulo Costa 10-8. Paulo Costa got a 10-8 because he was trying to drive drama on the internet. So Paulo Costa wins, okay? Paulo Costa wins 100% because his entire point of doing this was to get attention. Brian Ortega wins because people were saying that blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, yeah. And he just shot it down. He's like, no, take that shit from you. No, please, fucking take this bitch off my payroll. He wins. Tracy Cortez doesn't lose anything either, really, unless she really was doing it to make him jealous, in which case she probably thinks she won, actually. She probably thinks she won. You know what? There's no way to know if she won or not because her goal, if she was doing this to make him jealous, which seems highly likely to me, would have been to elicit a response from him to her, okay? Him tweeting, I don't give a fuck about that bitch, that's not a win. But if he texted her something and got them back in a conversation, then she won also. So it could have been a win-win-win. Although if Ortega did text her, then that means that what he posted here would have been not true. Assuming that he did not contact Tracy Cortez and he only tweeted this, then he wins 100%. If behind the scenes he was like, can't believe you're doing this, she wins, he loses. So I have no reason to think that he would have done that because he put top G shit and any top G would know. Silence is the answer always. I tell people all the time, dude, if you have a problem with a girl or girl have a problem with a guy, I have a 100% success rate flipping the tables on these people. If you have 1 foot in the door, now, if it's a person who is completely done with you and there's nothing you can do, if you even have a fucking sliver of hope in like a, kind of like a complicated relationship where you're trying to gain the upper hand and all that shit, I have absolutely bulletproof credentials on this. I have helped so many people through this because when I can navigate this as a person exterior looking with no emotional tie to either side, it is so easy to manipulate them. It's unbelievable. I would never be able to do it for myself. Because the emotions cloud your brain. But when I have a complete blank slate, I have no emotion. I literally, I'm telling you like 100%. And the number one piece of advice that starts the entire game off and then continues throughout the game is lack of availability. Make them start to really wonder what you're doing. Change your pattern of response. If they text you and you normally text 1 minute later, they text you, you text back 7 hours later. Okay? And they're going to be like, what the fuck? He never does this. What is he doing? They text, they ask, they want to hang out. I don't know. You trick them into thinking that you don't care anymore. And then you really trick them into thinking that you might be doing other things, but they can't ask you because they're the one who doesn't want to be, hey, you don't want to be together. You don't get to fucking ask me what the fuck I'm doing. And they know that. And when they ask, because they will always ask, you don't answer. You know what I mean? Just as a baseline, I'm literally giving you the blueprint. This works every time. Okay? All of this will work every time. Okay? Start taking a very long time to respond. When they start asking what you're doing, you give them evasive, vague answers. You don't lie. You don't like say, oh, I was at my mom's. You don't tell them what you were doing. You figure out a way to talk around it. They ask you a question. They're looking for an answer. You're not giving it to them. Okay? You don't say, I was out with another girl. No. They don't get to know what the fuck you're doing. That's the answer. But you don't say that because that makes you look like you care. The whole point is to make it look like you don't care. Okay? Like if you said like, no, you're the one who doesn't want to be together. You don't get to ask me what I'm doing. Loss. Incorrect strategy. Oh, maybe I was out with another girl. Loss. Incorrect strategy. I was with my mommy. Worse. No answers. You want them to think you're being evasive and start to be like, I don't get it. Why are you not answering? Just be like, dude, just relax. Train yourself to speak evasively. It's really easy through text. It's harder for people who don't have really strong game in person, but nonetheless, if you can figure out a way to do it, this is a 100% success ratio strategy. It will work every single time. Because eventually, that insecurity that they start feeling will start to turn into desire to be back together with you because they don't like how they feel. The entire reason that they were being such little pricky fucking asshole girls or guys is because they get whatever they want from you whenever they want it, and they don't have to give you anything back. So as soon as they realize that relationship is over now, they're like, fuck, I don't like the feeling of having a lack of control. I will do whatever I have to do to get it back, including getting back together with them, and then they will, and then you never fucking tell them that it was all strategy. Let them think that if they want to run off and do whatever the fuck they were doing before, that's exactly what will happen again. You know? Gabrielle pulled that shit fucking 16, 17 years ago. 16, 17, I don't know. Whenever, we had only been together for like 4 months. We've now been together for 17 years. But like, we've been together for 4 months. She wanted to have it both ways. She wanted to live in LA and party. And then like, if she comes to San Diego, we're just like together, you know? It's hard to drive to San Diego. So like, she'd rather just like do whatever she wants in LA. And then just like, you know, when she comes to San Diego, like we're together again. She doesn't have to answer my calls like when she's in LA. So I pulled the ultimate mindfuck. And she's been together with me ever since. So anyway, I gave her best friend a handful of Adderall for her birthday, knowing that she would give it to Gabrielle when Gabrielle came down to hang out for her birthday, knowing Gabrielle would ask to hang out with me because she was coming down to hang out for the birthday. I told Gabrielle there was a party that I was going to in Oceanside and I would come see them later, knowing that there was no party in Oceanside. I did kind of break the rule there, but you know, this was a very strategic implemented thing. So I told them I would call them when I was done and I would try to come and meet up. She's like, I would love to see you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll try to go. I went to my buddy's house, went and ate at Cheese Factory, went to his house, was asleep by 9 p.m. Last text I got from her was, Mandy's making me tell you that I know you're the one, but just not right now. And I just didn't respond and turned my phone off, knowing she was going to be whacked out on Adderall all night, sitting on my bed, waiting for me to come home, fucking can't sleep, 5 a.m., like, I lost him. So I came home at 8 and we've been, obviously I made her work for it a little bit from there, but yeah, we've been together ever since. So it works, dude. It works. Other girls that I got rid of, I clipped them and I literally never talked to them ever again. Well, except for once when I went over and banged one of them and then found out that she had a new boyfriend when he kicked her door in, and I had to hide naked in her closet on the second story at Creekside Apartments in San Diego. It's a whole other thing, though. But yeah, clip him and don't talk to him if it's this situation. I could have seen a video of her riding 11 dicks. I wouldn't have given a single solitary. Oh, look at Jesse's girl. She fumbled the bat. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care at all. I don't care. Dude, my friend, I've passed my ex-girlfriend. I've passed a different ex-girlfriend to my friends before. Like, turned it into a game. Let's see if she would fuck you, dude. I bet you she will. Fuck it. I'm talking here. I'll tell you that story. So, my previous ex, this girl that I used to tell stories about, her name's Bibbs. It's not her real name. But, Smoke Show, also, the most prone to that type of gamesmanship of anybody that I've ever met. But we dated for a short period in college and then basically just were like friends that would bang each other whenever, and we didn't care. Like, we really like genuinely didn't give a fuck about what each other were doing unless I banged her friends, which she didn't like. That happened a couple times, but nonetheless. So anytime that her and I had ever hung out, we just acted like she was my girl for the weekend. You know, like she'd be in San Diego or whatever. It's like, all right, yeah, she's my girl for the weekend with no strings at all, obviously. But I know her so fucking well, dude. And she comes from a small town where was the biggest fucking deal ever. She was Regina George of her fucking high school in the small town. She's ridiculously hot back then. And like, so the first time that she was coming down to visit San Diego when I was together with Gabrielle, I knew it was going to break her brain. I knew it. If I was together with a girl that she considered to be not as hot as her, she wouldn't have given a fuck. Like, she just wouldn't have cared. She would have been like, look at you, sorry ass. That's your girlfriend. But I knew she'd take one look at Gabrielle and be like, what the fuck? Because Gabrielle's objectively the hottest girl on earth. And so I knew it would break Brooke's brain. And so I kind of played it out in my mind. I was like, dude, she's going to literally, her routine here is going to be, she's going to literally do anything she can do to get my attention. Like, I think she was like 22 at the time. She'll do anything to get my attention. Fucking anything. Wait, 22? She might have been 23, 24. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm like, no. Wait, what am I talking about? She's way younger than that. It doesn't matter. Whatever. She's going to do anything she can to get my attention. Anything. All the way up. Because, and like when she's watching with the guy, all the way up to flirting with other guys. When that won't work, she's going to start flirting with my best friend. And when that doesn't work, my hypothesis is she'll fuck him. I think that she'll fuck him. And so I went to my best friend that I lived with and I was like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is a science project. All right. Our goal is for you to fuck Bibbs. And he's like, what? He was my roommate literally the entire time from the first time I dated her to this conversation now, which was like 9 years. Wait, that's all completely wrong. Okay, I started dating her when I was 20. This was 6 years later. So if I was 26, she was 23, whatever. Anywho, she did. Literally exactly as I had it mapped out in my brain where I just did the thing that I do. By the way, that was, that was 17 years ago or something like that. Wait, 26, 17 years ago? Is that right? No, I don't know. Fucking whatever. Timelines are weird, but long enough ago that I was that level of a mastermind, call it 15 years ago. You know what I mean? So I've had 15 years to develop as a mastermind where I predicted my ex-girlfriend would fuck my best friend and I orchestrated that. So when I start talking about people, my credibility is solid, I promise. Anyway, if you watch this far and you haven't subscribed yet, that's fucking insane. I love you guys. Bye.